So the first question is, how did you get into art and clothing design?
Wow, that's easy to answer. Because from the time that I knew I could walk outside and pick up a stick, I was drawing in the dirt. It was like that. I loved to go outside and draw in the dirt, basically.
So you started drawing at a young age,
Every when I could hold that stick, I could draw.
Mm-hmm.
I love to draw in the earth, and that was the beginning of me learning to draw. And I learned to make very recognizable images in the soil. That's how I learned to draw. So by the time I turned 6 years old, my mother knew that I could really draw. She bought me my first paint set.
Okay.
And my art paper. We were living at my grandmother's house at the time, and I started drawing and painting and using colors, crayons on paper, my first experience with it. So I was in the first grade, and I had a teacher named Miss Wilburn. And she had all of us draw a picture, and we were going to put them all up in the hallway at school. Somebody was going to win.
Right.
That meant absolutely nothing to me. So I drew a picture of a bird on a branch. And Miss Wilburn saw this picture, and she flipped like nobody had in my whole life and responded to what I did with my art. She ran out the door. She went and showed the picture to all the teachers that were in that same hallway. She went up to the principal's office. Doing my work like that, So, I was a little space cadet in first grade. It didn't mean anything to me. And I looked up at second or third day that my picture was on the wall, and there was a blue ribbon on my picture. Wow. And that kind of bothered me, because I was like, why is this thing on my picture?
Because you didn't understand the blue ribbon, the significance of that.
Like, Ms. Wilson is
They're messing up my picture.
She's going too far with this. And so, then my mother explained to me that I had won first prize. And so it meant a lot to her. It didn't mean very much to me. In the third grade, I was hustling paper dolls.
For real?
I was getting milk and lunch money from the girls.
Hustling your paper dolls.
I would draw the paper doll, of course, out of cardboard on the back of my tablet. That was hard paper.
Right.
And then I would design the clothes. This is when I first started designing clothes.
Wow.
I would design the paper doll clothes.
Third grade, you were designing clothes.
And getting paid. Do you hear me?
I can make this happen. Make these paper dolls. They outfits.
We about to get paid.
Wow.
So that's how I started actually designing clothes in the third grade.
And when did you actually start sewing?
I actually started sewing when I was 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah, because at 11 years old, I was too tall for clothes that my imam was buying at Kmart.
Right.
And so they had a fabric section there and patterns. So she was like, well, Treese, you ever think about sewing? Because I love to see her sew. She sewed
Oh, your
by
mother
hand.
sewed?
Yes.
By hand?
She sewed by hand, and she had an old machine at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to sew. So first of all, she bought me the fabric, and I used somebody else's machine. I can't remember whose it was. But finally, about 11 and a half years old, she brought me my first sewing machine. It was a Singer. Yeah. And she put me in a sewing class on Saturdays. And that's how I learned how to deal with clothes, making clothes long enough for me. It was a necessity. I needed some clothes that was long enough for me. And this was my mother's idea, and she guided me. And I started making my clothes and her clothes, too.
Now we're